and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. Welcome as I make myself comfortable on my couch with a new background feature. These are rolls of wrapping paper instead of the yellow bag. So, welcome. This is a channel about cross stitch. Thank you for joining me today. It is Sunday, January 4th, 2026. Happy New Year. And here we go. So, can I back up any more on the couch? Because honestly. Okay, so what have you been doing for the last 2 weeks? Apparently, I've been stitching. What, you may ask? A lot of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go back all the way to the beginning of when I last left you, and I'm going to talk about a whole lot of different things. Since I don't really remember what I showed you on my last video, which, you know, I could totally go back and look, but anyways, I know that I worked a lot on this one. I don't think I worked on anything from after my last video on the 21st, the 20th? I think it was the 20th. Anyway, I didn't work on anything else except for this. This is Mini Watching the World Go By Lucy Pitaway of Heaven and Earth Design. You can now find this on Bossy Threads as a kit. It is now retired from Heaven and Earth. It's been like that for a while, so anyways, I have all of my notes here, so there's notes. So don't know how many exactly I've put in, but I am now at 44,922. So that is 88.73%. And are you ready? We are so close. So I have put in a lot of green. That's what I did. I put in a lot of green. So I took the highest color of green, so which was meaning the highest color of everything. So I put in definitely over 1,000 stitches, probably close to 2,000 stitches of between 907 and 906. And they were all down in this section, so that's why I'm showing you this place. But it's going very well. I'm very happy. I love how the dimension of, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I thought, here I am just stitching blocks and blocks and blocks of the same color, but with the water, it really does give the dimension of an actual, you know, dip into the water. It's actually really cool. All right, so that's the first thing that I worked the most on, but I did work on other things since then. So I was at a friend's house over between the 27th and I think we stayed until the 29th. We stayed until the Tuesday. We stayed until the Tuesday. Came back because apparent snowstorms were happening and that didn't happen. Anyways, it is what it is. So, when I got back, I ended up working on a new start that I'm going to show you in my new starts section, but I'm not going to go there yet because I'm not doing that yet. But after that, the next work in progress that I picked up was Pokemon starters. I started playing Milestone Manor. Milestone Manor is a brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, and Jessie Does Stuff? Jessie Marie Does... I don't know, Instagram. Anyways, so also the creator of Whip Go, but she's just came up with this very new game that has a lot of dimensions to it and all of the things. So, my first dice roll was 1,600 stitches on this Pokemon starters piece because I ended up getting Tess from Tess Stitches in Australia to map me out a whole landscape of where all of these different specific whips, all of a certain amount of whips, were going to be in my building, because I don't live in a house, I live in an apartment building. So I took all of the apartment buildings, so that's 10 apartments. I took 3 of the hallways and 3 sets of stairways and an outside. So that gave me something like 17 different options for pieces. Anyways, different places to go. So started in my apartment, of course, and this hair, whatever it's doing, is driving me bananas. Anyways, started in my apartment, rolled the D20, and got something like, I must have gotten something like 20. Okay, of course, because my name's Julie. And then I rolled the D10, and so I got 8. So that's 80. So 80 times 20 is 1,600. So I'm not there yet. I've only put in 276 stitches. But still, that's a start. So what I was going to do originally was I was going to then just break it down and do 20 times 8, which is 160. So I surpassed that and really didn't feel like not stopping there. I didn't really want to stop there. I wanted to try and push to 1,600. This is going to be a long-term game for me. I'm not planning on new roll of dice every week, breaking into a new place in the apartment. That's not going to happen, especially if I have to do 1,600, because it is supposed to be a challenge. 1,600 on one piece. I know that's not the most, but that's a lot for me. So I have a picture of before. That's what this is going to look like. I mean, that's where this was. And with my 276 stitches added, so I'm thinking it's going to be another couple weeks. Here we are. So I am sitting farther away back from the camera, so I really can't see what I'm doing on the camera. That's why it's so weird. Anyways, so what I did was I thought being comfortable in a FlossTube was going to be not okay. Okay, so I worked a little bit more on Chimchar. I worked a little bit more on Grookey. And I started somebody's head on the bottom. I added some 310 over here. And I started this guy down here, whoever he is, and whatever this is going on over here. I kind of expanded to try and figure out color completing as I go. Picking colors that is close to somewhere I can count off of and go from there. And if I can finish the color, then that's great, because that's a milestone, right? So I will try to need to remember the colors that I finished, because I haven't been writing them down, so oops. But I did start this on January 1st, but I have been distracted with other things that I will show you. So that's why it's not getting as much progress probably as it should, but at least it's a little bit, right? So this is now at 35.25% at 6,507. I got 215. Sorry, I was reading the wrong line. 215 stitches in. So 6,507 stitches. So we're getting there. Slowly. So maybe I will choose to do, maybe this is going to be a super long-term game and only get to all of my projects only once over the year, but that's okay. Stitching is stitching. It's the hobby. It's not a race. So the next thing on my thing, while I was away as well, before we left to go to my friend's house, we emptied out a cabinet, and in the cabinet I found this. This is, I wrote it down. Why am I not just looking at my notes? This is Antique Circle Sampler by 2x2 Art, 2x2 Stitch Art on Etsy. I am using a Roxy floss conversion, and I didn't get a lot done because distractions, but I I did end up getting however many amount of stitches that is up there, that pink space, the darker pink space up there. So yeah, so this is very far from being done. It's essentially, and it's just starting stages. I can tell you if I have... Okay, so 677 total, but that makes it only 1.88. Let me get my glasses, hold on. 1.89%, so it's going to be massive. I don't know if this fabric is going to hold all of it, so essentially I think I'm just going to stop wherever this fabric, I can make the full circle of the fabric. That's the plan. But I am having a lot of fun with it. I forgot about it completely, cleaning out that cabinet, and I was like, oh, that's where that went. So, and I found all the floss for it, staying with it, so that's even better, right? Even better. Okay, so let's just do that. Let's put all my finished work up there. Okay, so when I came back, like I said, I had a few new starts because time of year, but I'm going to go through my works in progress first. So, what's this? Pokemon? Yep, that goes up here. I'm not even following my new thing. For the last few days, I've been working on Autumn Fairies. This is a design by Karen Middleton of Heaven and Earth Design. And here we go. So, this is the before picture. I tried to take all my pictures, going forwards at least now, with everything that I have to show you left, of things, the before picture. I was making sure that I took the before picture. So this is what got 267 stitches. So this is where we're at. This is now at 41.78%. And I filled in a lot down here while I was watching Once Upon a Time. That is my now new go-to not FlossTube watching show. I've seen it all already, so I can just, it's on in the background kind of thing. But I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for FlossTube Frenzy. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. There are so many different options of what I can do for those whips. So, do I just watch the FlossTube and figure out how many stitches I owe it and then add it on? I don't know yet, but I know that I'm watching all of you and I'm on the third part of the 4 parts of Jen's whip parade. That's a lot of whips. Anyways, okay, here we go. So, that's what I'm working through on FlossTube right now. Once I do that, I think I'm going to start from January 1st, because now you've all had time to get things out, and, go through my list and see if I can apply stitches to different works in progress. Okay, so that's it for the whips, my digital whips, that I had started. So now, on to my new starts. My new starts, I had four new starts. So, the first new start that I had, it was actually the first new start that I had. It was on the 31st of December. We came back for New Year's Eve, because we came back on the 30th. So, we were here on the 31st. I went shopping to purchase 3 things of fabric, all different counts, and a 14, an 18, and a 16, all from Michael's because I had a gift card. And so I started with the 14 count because I knew that I wanted to love this piece. I knew that I wanted to love working on this piece, that I knew that I wanted to finish this piece this year. So in order to do that, I put it on a 14 count. It's not going to be massive, but it's going to be big enough. It's going to be like, I figured out the fabric for this. This is Loops and Threads 14 count, because this is Loops and Threads 14 count, and it's exactly the same. The only difference is this is cleaner. Okay, so I ended up starting on the 31st. The Wise and the Brave. This is a Heaven and Earth Design stitch along hosted by two ladies from the Heaven and Earth Design world. This is the Wise and the Brave from L&L Designs. So Liesl and Leslie? Is that their names? Luann and Liesl. Luann and Leslie. Anyways, okay. You guys are great. Okay, so L&L. Right now, I have added 1,224, so I have not been able to put this down. And it's only 5 days of working on it, and I'm over 1,000 stitches. That's great. That's fantastic. So I started the top left corner. I don't know how I'm going to... Let's just do this. Okay, so here I am. This is page 1. This is all of page 1. I was going to start something else, but I started this instead. I started something else instead. I'll talk about it when I get to that piece. Holy bananas. Okay, so that's where we're at. 1,224, which is 1.38%. So the two ladies that are running the stitch along and Amy Stewart decided to pre-release, I think it's called Amy's Sanctuary of Stitching. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember right now, but you were supposed to stitch one full page before you started it. Before it was awarded to you. So, that didn't happen. They chose to give it out at the beginning. So, I was going to stitch on that. I chose not to stitch on that. I'll show you what I decided to stitch on instead because I've had that piece way longer. But before that happened, one of my really good friends, Lorna, from A Random Stitcher, messaged me a few days prior and said, hey, would you like to start this with me? We can do a stitch along for 2026. Great, sure, yeah, let's do it. So this is Forever Friends, QS Forever Friends by Oleg Gavrilov of Heaven and Earth Designs. This is a top right start. Who am I? I don't know. This is a whole 71 stitches because this is the time that we spent stitching together. And here we go. That's what it is. Ta-da! 0.11%. So she said she had to go to her daughter's. So I said, okay, see you later. Have fun. Happy New Year. And then I stopped working on it and have not picked it up since. She has maybe picked it up again, but she didn't tell me. So anyways, that's fine. That is on a 16 count, 2/1 DMC. Yeah, that's all. And on this massive piece. So I think maybe it's going to take up this massive piece, but I'm not sure. So my plan is kind of to stitch wherever the needle takes me, but also to typewriter stitch along the top to get to the other edge. And something that I am definitely stitching along the top to the other edge of is Mini Breaking Free. I have a story about this, and I'll tell it to you later. But Mini Breaking Free, I feel is going to speak to me this year because that's kind of what I'm doing. Kind of, getting out of my skin a little bit more to try and be myself more, to try and get out in the world more, to try and hide less, kind of, all those kind of words. So I've had this chart in my stash for a very long time. It's by Ciro Marchetti, and I figured I might as well start one of his pieces, so I did. This is 264 stitches. This is halfway across the top. This is only 3 lines down, so I need to add more stitches today, because today is the 4th. So what I was thinking of doing, was, this is only 300, the height is only 300, so like 300 stitches down. So if I do this over 2 years, one half, then the other half, I'll have it done. No? If I do half of a stitch per day, which is 100, so it's not bad. I just have to have all the colors, is what it is. anyways, but I will roll this up again to show you how far I've gotten, because I can do that still on the roll. So this is all just the top left corner, all the way over to the halfway mark. All of those colors are colors I either might not have or just decided that, okay, I'm done stitching this for now. I can't do it anymore. And I think it's I didn't have those colors. So I was gifted a gift card for an LNS that's close to me this Christmas. So I'm going to go there probably tomorrow or Tuesday and spend the whole thing on floss, because I need to update my master set. Plus I need to get all of the colors definitely for this, if this is going to continue the way that I want it to. One last new start. This is a small start. This is a Whip Wars. So I started this with Tess Stitches in Australia. She's in Australia and I'm in Canada, so there's a 16-hour time difference. I saw a post today online saying the news about the time change in 2026. That's in a couple months. It's not happening yet. Don't do that to me yet. Anyways. Okay, so this is Stitching Buds Are the Best. We have been communicating back and forth for 7 and a bit years now. As long as my channel has been going. She was my first subscriber, so we have been friends ever since. I don't know, we just clicked and we just hit it off. So this year we've started to have a Whip Wars situation. We started small. It's from my Big Toe Designs, and it was a freebie. So if you want to go get it, you're more than welcome. We both changed colors for everything. I'm doing mine on a 32 count piece of Jubilee in mint, 2/2 in the Roxy Flossco colors, some Roxy Flossco colors, and I ended up having to stitch 55 because we have a wheel, we don't have cards, and I spun the higher number of 30. Or was I 35 and she was 20? I think so. I think that's how it worked. Or some kind of, anyways. So either way, this is my corner right start, my right corner start. She stitched 20. That's a lie. It goes like this. Holy bananas. Yeah, okay. So right corner start, bottom right corner. How many ways can I say that? 55 stitches. So that is 6.76%. I think I have to stitch 20 stitches this week. We're spinning weekly, so you'll get progress on that every time I film. There's only 814 stitches. That's why we decided on the lower stitch count, so that it wouldn't be all done in like 2 weeks. All right, so we have a wheel. Sorry, I was explaining and then I stopped. So we have a wheel that is anywhere between 10 stitches and 50 stitches by 5. So 10, 15, 20, 25, so on and so forth. Whoever has the higher number that is spun has to take on the other person's number and stitch that as well. And the person who has the lower amount only stitches that lower amount. So I think we flipped, and she has to do 55 this week, and I think I have to do 20, 30. We've already spun. I can't remember, but that's okay. That's okay. It's all on my phone. Okay, so the next thing, so that is all my digital, that's all my digital stuff. That's everything that I worked on for my digital charts. Okay, so let's go for non-digital now. Let's go for paper charts. So my paper charts this week, I ended up stitching for Whip Go. I've decided that Whip Go, also Jessie Marie, Whip Go is 5 days a week, so Monday to Friday, and 30 stitches a day. just to get those projects a little bit further than they were before, because this current project, let me tell you, is the bane of my existence. Is that what it's called? Anyways, so this is Peacock. You have not seen this whip in a very long time, this work in progress. But this is Peacock. It is by Mill Hill. I'm thinking of restarting it for a few reasons, but I'll let you know. Okay, so this is Peacock, and it's on a 28 count 2/2 piece of Star Sapphire linen. So here's a few things that, this is one of the first Mill Hills. This is one of the first linen pieces that I started. No, the first linen piece I started, but this is one of the first Mill Hills that I started. And I'm pretty sure I started one a long time ago, too far down. It's not in the middle. There is more peacock than there is top part. So I think I might have to restart it anyway. But we'll see. So 60 stitches has been put into this piece. Up in the, I have a before picture, so up in here. So I'll put the before picture, and if you can see it, I don't know if you can, because the blue on blue, but I just wanted to be able to get that out of the way so that that's done. Gives me good practice, I guess. But yes, I am thinking of putting it on different fabric for two reasons. This fabric, I can't do it. I can't do it. Every time I pull it out, I'm like, oh, this fabric. And everything is DMC, so I can clearly just pull from my stash. And the other thing is, I think that's too high. I mean, this space is too much. Because, like I said, there's going to be more peacock than there is border up top. Or whatever that's called. Yeah. So, there's that. Should I just frog it? Not frog it. Should I just get rid of it and start new anyway? I think so. But I don't know. Practice stitching on linen. I'm not a linen stitcher, but it gives me good practice at least. Maybe I'll restart it. Because every time I love the saying. I love the saying. It is be your wild and crazy courageous self every single day, no matter what, or something. Have only one rule, and so that's just like completely somehow my whatever this year, right? So have only one rule, be your wild, courageous, brilliant self every single day, no matter what. So it's a good saying, it's a good mantra to have, but that fabric, maybe I can find another blue fabric that I like better. Maybe. But this is for 2 weeks. So I'm going to test it out for 2 weeks and see how it goes. And if I absolutely still loathe it, we'll be doing it on something else. So, yeah, that's that. So that is 60 stitches. I'm planning on adding another week and a half of stitches on this. So we'll see how that goes. The next thing is temperature stitching. I worked on 3 different pieces this week. So the first one is Sing a Sampler. I'm working on me. I'm already done the first part. This is where it was. I put in 79 stitches. This is on a 28 count piece of cream linen even weave. Some kind of even weave. It's an even weave. Anyways, here I am. Is it an even weave? I think so. Yeah, there are no random really big slugs. Smokes. What are they called? Slubs? Oh, bananas. Okay, so I was working down in the green. So this is the whole thing so far. And then I was working down in the green of the grass. It's not never-ending grass. It's not so bad. It's not bad at all. But I stitched 60, 71, 79 stitches in here. Again, I use a clicker. It's not here. It's in my bedroom. But it's just like for counting rows of yarn, I guess, or for knitting. I got mine at my LNS, but you can also find it on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. I am using a mix of, this is Sing a Sampler series. It is by Silver Creek Samplers. And this is the first two. I have the other two in the bedroom. So it's a 4-part series. I'm stitching on part 2. And I have a mixture of Roxy Floss and General Arts and DMC and Weeks. So for this section, I think each section that changes, like each pattern chart, because they're all different colors. You know what I mean. Okay, so next up, so that was 79 stitches. You'll notice a trend that I go down and down and down and down and down because the fabrics kept getting harder and harder and harder to see. So this one is another piece that is on my temperature stitching, and this is Savannah's Curtsy. And Savannah's Curtsy is by Mirabilia. I started it too long ago and did a restart a little while ago. This is the before picture. And here we are now. I put in 71 stitches. So before it was 679 and now it's 71. And you'll see what I do next. I am happy that this is in the temperature stitching because otherwise it's never going to get done, right? That's the theory about all of them. All right, so then the last one in temperature stitching, I know I don't have stories about these. Oh, but I do have a story about this. So I am running out of one of the colors for the green because I did a blended situation for that. And so I ordered it from Evertote and then went into this design and realized I had more of that color. This is the Moonshine Cabin. I can never remember for some reason. Anyways, this is also on temperature stitching. It is a modern folk embroidery. They, in 2018, every year now so far, but in 2018 they started the collaboration with Roxy Floss Co. and with Evertote in London, Ontario, Canada. And so I opened it up yesterday to work on it, to put 69 stitches into it, and realized, oh, I already have the color, but I had already put in the order for Evertote. It's fine. They're having a sale. I didn't really use real money. I used a gift card that had a MasterCard gift card, so it wasn't, you know, real money. It was given to me money. It is what it is. Anyways, so I put 69 stitches somehow magically into this. It really doesn't look like it's 69, but is what it is. The top 2 pages are done if you haven't been here before. When I posted this on Instagram the other day, I didn't take a whole picture. I just took the where I was working in the NerdTube. I was like, what's that thing called? Anyway, so everything's done. Everything's done. This is the top pages. Now I'm working on the bottom pages. So I was working in the window up here. And then if you can actually see it, I was working, filling in some of the blue house. So you can tell when I wasn't using vision enhancement or light enhancement situation, because the last time I worked on this, my stitches were all over the place and I only did a few, but I just want to see it done now. It's been too long. We're going on year number 8. Crazy. And so, yeah, this is using, at the time, Leo and Roxy Floss, but Roxy Floss Co. flosses, and the fabric was a 28 count piece of linen in Night Owl. You can still get it on the Evertote website. I saw it the other day. I was going to buy fabric, but I was like, no need. Kind of a need, but no need. I needed my floss more. So they are, I don't know if they're still doing it, but I'm pretty sure. But they are having a sale on their one-of-a-kind dyed lots of thread. So they are having a 5 for 10 sale. So go get them if you want to try them out. One-of-a-kind colors, so you might not be able to get them again, but that's okay. That's okay. See what they're like working with. They're fantastic. They don't knot as much as DMC. Hardly ever. Hardly ever. Okay, so that's all for my temperature stitching. So what's going on going forwards? Whip Go, like I said, Monday to Friday. 30 stitches each. I'll check in before I switch projects again, so I won't even show you what number 7 was. That project that I'm working on, Peacock, is number 2. So the called for numbers were 2 and 7. So there we go. Temperature stitching, 7 days a week. So I haven't done any temperature stitching, even though it's 5:44. I decided I wanted to show you everything from the last 2 weeks instead of show you new things that I've, continuously been working on, because why not? I felt like I had been gone for a long time, so that's why I'm checking in and saying hello. So Tess stitches. That's a lie. Siski stitches. Siski has a Facebook group that I talk about all the time, but her latest game that she's running and playing is called Lessons and Legends? Legends and Lessons. One or the other. A Harry Potter based game. So there are 8 different whips for let me get my tablet up. This is what I did last time. So I've already filmed this once. Surprise, surprise. Filmed it again. Yeah. So Legends and I don't actually have it called down here. Hold up. So I took my 8 closest to a finish, full coverage, digital charts, whatever. No, not even. Digital charts that are closest to the finish. So there are different categories. So either history, defense against the dark arts, potions, charms. Okay, so I honestly just wrote the first thing about all of them. So if you want to go look into it, Siski does a whole better job of explaining it. But history, defense, potions, charms, care, herbology, astronomy, and transfiguration. So those are the 8 categories. So you have 8 different whips. There are the 4 different houses. So Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. And what I've done is I've designated a stitch count to each of the different houses. So she draws, each week she draws 4 different things for each house. So 4 topics, 1 topic per house. Oh my goodness. So she does 4 houses per week. Again, go see her. She does a way better job explaining it. Okay, so I still have work to do on Autumn Fairies. So this is what's coming up in the near future for this week. So because I'd only jumped in on week 2, I have to play catch up. So I have 8 different things to work on this week. But, well, 7 because 1 is a repeat for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1 has a repeat. I think. I don't really remember which one has a repeat, but one of them does. One of them was called twice, but I'll go back and figure it out. So what I am working on, though, is a couple another 100 stitches on Autumn Fairies. Beginner Seashell is going to have 200 stitches added to it. Never Quit is going to have 300. See You Later is going to have 100. One of the hundreds, I think it's White Mandala 3, is going to have, I think, another 300 added to it because my tablet's been messing up. It's not saving what I actually put in versus how many. Anyways, it is what it is. So, Wise and the Brave will have a dedicated 400 stitched for that. Watching the World Go By 200, and White Mandela 100. So there is one more that I will go back and look for. So each house I've designated an amount of stitches. So Gryffindor has 100 stitches allotted to it whenever Gryffindor gets called. Slytherin 200, Ravenclaw 300, and Hufflepuff 400. So that's why I'm not really concerned on whether or not FlossTube Frenzy is going to be a thing or not, because I'm working on all the projects that I wanted to finish this year anyway. FlossTube Frenzy is a great idea, but it's just one more thing that I need to keep track of, kind of. Is it over here still? Oh, bananas. Okay, it is. So what I am going to do, though, while working on, while watching FlossTubers, because I have a whole variety of different FlossTubers that I do watch, so what I did between the first day of winter, so the 21st, between the 21st and the 1st, there was 12 days. I wrote down 12 whips that I wanted to focus on while watching FlossTube, sorry. And so those whips got put into a little bag, on little pieces of paper that looked like this, but smaller, right? I cut up pieces of paper, I wrote down, I folded it in half, put it in a little zippy bag, okay? Pulled one out, didn't see it, crumpled it up, ripped it up, threw it in the garbage. Whatever came out last, that was what I was going to work on for FlossTube. So what ended up happening is I am going to start today, because I've only been really watching whip parades. So, yes, whip parades. You guys, enablers, all of you. Anyway, I'm going to be working on Fractal. Oh my goodness. Fractal Bookmark 53. That's what this is, by Cross Stitch Collectibles. It was a free chart a couple years ago. You can get the full fractal, the full square, instead of just the rectangle, on their web page. But this is where I'm at for that. I am working on the blue roundabout. There are so many counting errors, but it's just a random mix of colors, right? So that's what I'm going with. This is, though, however wide it's going to be. This is on the 14 count loops and threads Ada. So it's nice and wide, so I can just not have to wear any kind of vision enhancing things. So that'll be good for watching FlossTube. I'm working color completing, so I'm color completing. I think I'm working on blue. Well, I am working on blue, but I'm working on blue right now, so I was working from red to black, but that didn't happen because I wanted to finish the black because it was only like 5 stitches. So anyways, that's what's happening. That's what's happening when I'm watching all you fabulous people with FlossTube this year. I am keeping track of my stitches far more than I was last year. I can do a quick tally because I have everything written down here. Let's do a quick tally. Okay, so maybe not since I just won't watch the world go by because I don't have those actual numbers, but I did work on everything either starting December 31st or after, so I'm counting it as this year. So let's do some math. 2, 6, 7. We're not doing that one. Oh, bless you, Simon. 60. 39. Okay, so in the first 5 days, let's say 5 days because I'm counting the 31st. So the first 5 days I put in 2,375 stitches. Hooray, hooray. Okay, so if that stays up, then that'll be great. If it doesn't, then c'est la vie. As you know, life's around here, so any day is a stitchy day, or any day is a medical day, or any day is a I'll have to go to work day, or. So we'll see how that goes. So I am excited though for this week's events. I do plan on stitching on Temperature Stitching, Whip Go, Lessons and Legends, and the Hate Saw for sure. And Whip Wars. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, my mom has gotten herself, one of her friends, and my other two sisters. We are here and there going to the National Figure Skating Championships in Canada. So it's in Gatineau. And so if you don't know, me and my family are big. We have all figure skated in our life. And some of us are still figure skating, so through synchronized skating. So my two sisters, I think, are going for the synchro days. So the senior and junior competitive teams in Canada will be there, synchronized skating. If you don't know it, look it up. And it's a world event. Like almost every country, no, not almost, a bunch of countries in the world have synchronized skating teams. Anyways, if you don't know it, go look it up. It's fantastic. Especially at the junior and senior level, they are deemed international potential skaters. Anyway, so national championships from Thursday to Sunday, so that's where I'll be. So chances are, who knows what kind of stitching week I'm going to have. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll get as much done as I can, of course. I will check in with you next Sunday. Next Sunday is the 12th? Next Sunday is the 11th. Is the 11th of January. So I'm going to say bye for now. Sparkle and shine. Have a great rest of your week. I will see everybody later. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for saying hi. Leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, all the things. There has been a little bit of an increase in my numbers again, so thank you very much. And I hope to see everybody again next week. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you next week. Sparkle and shine. Bye, everybody.